which super trends do you think will have the biggest impact on our lives in 2050?
Which super trends will become big in the future until 2050? I think AI is the number one. AI is absolutely massive. With AI now, you have AutoGPT, for instance, which is connected to the internet, which has memory, so you can have a constant relationship with it, which goes to Hugging Face models, where there are more than 200,000 specially trained AI models. Recruit them, play them like a piano to solve a complex task. So this phenomenon is something that you can go into many legacy companies and then say, okay, if we didn't have all these employees, would we have these employees? And then in some cases you say, instead of having 200 employees, I think we'll have 7, and the rest can be automated completely with AI. AI is, what works now is generative AI, large language models. And people who don't work with it often indicate that they think it's more I than G, so it's more intelligence than generative. But when you work with it, you find out that it's actually, in many cases, it's more generative, meaning that it's got an imagination. You can ask it about stuff that doesn't exist, and then it creates something that didn't exist before. Very often, truly exceptional quality. So it's very big there. It's very big in decision support. So we have this phenomenon called Kentaur, which is a computer-assisted person. There have already been quite a lot of experiments comparing AI to people, and which increasingly show that it does stuff better than people, also better than people who think that this is not possible. But in many cases, what the clients really want is a combination. So you want to have an interface with a person, but you want to make sure that that person doesn't make mistakes, and that person has superhuman knowledge and insight and imagination, and AI can support that. So that's one thing. I think energy is a hot topic, of course, because of global warming. When we look at the innovation going on and expected in energy, what is coming, what is in the pipeline is absolutely amazing, and not everybody's fully aware of that. You have things that are simple, like carbon capture, utilization and storage, which makes it possible to keep going with fossil fuels actually, and then you just capture the carbon and either use it for something really beneficial or you get rid of it in a sustainable way. You have a lot of different things going on in nuclear, so small nuclear reactors. You have thorium-based nuclear. You have nuclear fusion, and so nuclear fusion, the fuel you need for that is deuterium and tritium. And deuterium, we have absolutely endless amounts of that. Tritium can be made from lithium. And if you take 1 kilo of deuterium and tritium, or liter actually, 1 liter of deuterium and tritium, and use that for nuclear fusion, then you would get 12 million times as much energy out of that as similar as you would from a similar amount of coal, for instance. And it's safe, and the waste is helium, which is also safe. So really cool stuff coming out there. And a third area, I think, is healthcare. So healthcare will become extremely sophisticated. That you will be able to have medications made for you, based on your own genetic situation, your individual health situation, where you, for instance, an extreme example is that you can analyze somebody's genes and say, we can see in your genes that there are 3 different kinds of cancer that you have an elevated risk of getting at some point in your life. Would you like to have a vaccine against these? And then you get a vaccine that contains some of the proteins that would appear on those cancer cells if you ever get them. And that means that if you do get those cancers, you won't even notice, because your body will be ready for it and will deal with it straight away and kill those cells. So lots of other things, like the ability to simulate new medications in silico, so on computers, especially the combination of AI and then quantum computing, which is coming quite soon also, will be absolutely amazing. Also the personal AI, where AI is your personal guide. It knows you, it follows you, keeps your personal information and patterns confidential, works in terms of education, like your own personal cancer academy, in terms of lifestyle, like your own fitness coach, in terms of a life decision as your motivational speaker, as your psychologist, in terms of organizing your holiday, your relationship, everything, fixes everything. And after a while also offers to take care of the hardware in your home, so turn on your robotic cleaning machines and so on. That's very big. So I would also like to add the food sector. So increasingly food will be produced in new ways, not from only plants and dead animals, but we will have precision fermentation, we have a cultured meat, we will have full meat, and other technologies, vertical farming, for instance, that have this in common, that they're very, very compact. So you can produce a lot with a little. You can feed the world by using very, very little space. And you can also make more healthy food. So something that tastes and looks like a beef, but it's more healthy than a beef. So these are some examples.
Interesting. I think we're fascinated by the same super trends. So that would be artificial intelligence, energy, and healthcare. Can you imagine in 2050 having a super intelligence, having an abundance of energy that is clean and free, and at the same time that our healthcare system has developed in a way that we have a much longer lifespan and that we're healthy much longer? That truly sounds wonderful, I think.